Hi, this is Lane 8492. This will be my first true crime story video of today and of this new year. And by the way, Happy New Year from Cape Coral, Florida. This is a case out of the state of Texas death row inmate Charles Victor Thompson. You see, Charles Victor Thompson was convicted and sentenced to death for the double murders of his ex-girlfriend, Glenda Dennise Hayslip, and her new boyfriend, Darren Cain. You see, on the evening of April 28th, 1998, police had been summoned to Hayslip's apartment to resolve a domestic disturbance between Charles Victor Thompson and Darren Cain, who was now in a relationship with Charles Victor Thompson's ex-girlfriend, Glenda Dennise Hayslip. And they had to escort Charles Victor Thompson off the property. But a few hours later, on April 30th of 1998, Charles Victor Thompson returned to the property with a gun, and he gained entry to the residence to where he confronted Darren Cain and Glenda Dennise Hayslip, and there he fired 4 rounds into Darren Cain, and then he shot Glenda Dennise Hayslip. And of course, Glenda Dennise Hayslip ended up on life support and didn't survive, and was taken off life support days later and died. After the shootings, Charles Victor Thompson fled the scene and disposed of the murder weapon in a nearby creek. He then traveled to the residence of Diane Zernia, a confidant to whom he described in the shootings in detail. But then after he was arrested and brought in for questioning, Charles Victor Thompson confessed to the whole thing. He was put on trial for the double murder in Harris County, the county of Houston, Texas. In fact, most of those on death row in Texas were convicted and sentenced to death in Harris County of Houston. And of course, most of those executed in Texas since the reinstatement of the death penalty, or a majority, however you want to put it, were convicted and sentenced to death in Harris County of Houston. But Charles Victor Thompson was found guilty of the double murder and sentenced to death. Now, in 2005, when he got a new sentence hearing or new trial, on November 3rd, 2005, Charles Victor Thompson escaped from the Harris County Jail and was on the run. He had smuggled several items into his cell using a legal binder, which inmates are permitted to keep. And the items included a handcuff key, a fake identification badge, and a set of civilian clothes consisting of khaki pants, a dark blue shirt, and white tennis shoes. Thompson later claimed that a sergeant had found a previous set of smuggled clothes that were merely confiscated them as contraband, and without reporting the incident to the district attorney. And Charles Victor Thompson was on the run for 5 days, where he eventually made it to Shreveport, Louisiana, where he had used money obtained from Good Samaritans by posing as a Hurricane Katrina evacuee. His escape ended at a payphone outside of a Shreveport, Louisiana liquor store. On November 6th, acting on a tip, police found Charles Victor Thompson intoxicated, and he was apprehended and brought back to the Harris County Jail for his new trial or sentence hearing, whichever it was that he got. And eventually, again, Charles Victor Thompson was sentenced to death. And now his execution is set for January 28th of 2026. And all of his appeals are officially exhausted. This will be the first execution of this year in the United States. Last year, there were 47 executions, 19 of them in Florida, 5 in Texas, 5 in South Carolina, 5 in Alabama, 2 in Arizona, 1 in Missouri, 2 in Indiana, see, 3 in Tennessee, 2 in Mississippi, and 1 in Louisiana. Not only that, there was a biography done called The Grass Beneath His Feet, the Charles Victor Thompson story. He was also portrayed in a Netflix series, I Am a Killer. Also, Charles Victor Thompson's story was portrayed in an episode of Extreme Prison Breaks entitled Runaway Chuck. Well, Hope, this is Lane 8492. I have an associate's, bachelor's, and master's degree in criminal justice. Hope you enjoy this video and let me know what you think. Thanks.